Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In case you're new here, my name is Kim. This is Korea Union. So today I want to read an email from one of you who sent in some movement that he's had with his mirror soul, his true love. I haven't read it fully, but I did skim it over the past couple days. So I decided to use this as a lesson, and I intend that it does help. I want you to remember that every single success story that I've ever come on to share with you, to inspire you not to give up on your true love. Every single one of them had moments where they were fearful, where they had sleepless nights, where they were in anger, frustration, where they were blaming their person or blaming themselves, where they thought they were being crazy or delusional until they were in the actual experience. So there will be times where you're going to feel like maybe I'm crazy until you're actually in it. Feeling that you're delusional or crazy isn't a problem. It's normal because you're reprogramming literally how you perceive yourself and life. Your assumptions fulfill themselves. When you have a particular assumption about anything, but we're talking about true love, your mirror soul. When you have an assumption of them or you and them together, whether it's in your favor or not, a bridge of incidents is literally unfolding to fulfill itself. So that's why it's so important to conform to your desire, to the fulfillment of your desire. And then that new assumption, through whatever technique or method you choose to use, whatever resonates with you, then a bridge of incidents will be built and you will experience that assumption. And that's all that manifestation is. But in case you're new here, everything is always a manifestation because you're living and breathing and you're having this physical experience in the material world. But the material world, everything that appears to be so solid, including you and everything else in your life, isn't actually solid. We're all trillions and trillions of atoms and all potentials, infinite potentials that neither you nor I could actually even fathom all exist. And so, again, your assumption will fulfill itself through a bridge of incidents that will begin to unfold the moment you assume it. And that's why some of you may have experienced the opposite with your true love, your mirror soul, because you probably came into the experience with some lies around you not being worthy of love or not deserving love, or that love isn't consistent or reliable in your life, or that men, women, or whatever, we could go on and on about that. So those were assumptions that you came into it with. And then because of that, your assumptions basically fulfilled themselves because you were trusting in that. They were kind of lingering in there, and there are never any blocks. Sometimes I ask people are like, I've been doing this for a while. There must be a block. There are never blocks because your thoughts about the situation, any you're being shown exactly what you need to overcome. But sometimes it's so subtle you might miss it. So, for example, I had a client recently who was deep down blaming herself. She was a little bit guilty because she felt like she abandoned her mirror soul. Without going into her personal details, I picked that up during our session because earlier in the session she said, "Am I blocked? Like, why aren't I seeing anything?" And it's, well, for one, you want to be living from the end of fulfillment. So you give yourself the experiences of being in the relationship through your inner work, and then you stay consistent with that. And then so you wouldn't look for anything that you already have because you're already fulfilled. That was the number one thing that I told her. But then it did come up after she was talking about asking, do I have a block? It did come up just through her talking that there was a little bit of guilt. So I told her she needs to forgive herself for feeling like she abandoned her person. So anyway, I'm going to read this, and whatever comes out to help teach You guys, if you do love my content, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. It helps me grow. If you want me to be your coach to help you manifest anything related to your true love, your specific person, mirror soul, deep soul connection. And by the way, sometimes people ask questions about twin flame connections, so I'll address that in a second too. But anyway, if you want my help to help you, email a short description to kim@coreunion.com. Go to my website, coreunion.com, book either a single session or a package. My scheduling assistant, Olga, will get back to you with my next available session. Most people do choose the package simply because it saves them money if they think they're going to end up meeting with me more than once. If you only did a single session package, you obviously pay the single session rate. It's really that black and white and that simple. So somebody had recently asked, a few people actually asked, is this the case with twin flame connections too? Yes, it is. It's the case with everything because your assumptions are, again, fulfilling themselves. So change your belief around yourself, choose yourself, love yourself, prioritize your needs, know your value and worth. And when you're doing that, your twin, your mirror soul, that's what I choose to call it, will be doing all of those good and healthy things for themselves too, because the two of you guys are one. So don't fall for a narrative that says this is going to take long, you can't manifest your twin. Don't fall for those narratives. That's just that particular content creator's belief system. So that's their paradigm. That's how they um, manifested their twin in their life through their belief system. But you don't have to adopt that belief system. And there's nothing wrong with anyone in that community. It's just that that's how they believe. If that feels limiting to you, then don't subscribe to that belief system. Is really that simple. And I also wouldn't put other people down if that's just what they believe. Just don't listen to it because most likely it will cause some triggering within you and some spiraling. So let me read this. Hi, Kim. I know we haven't had our first session yet, but I figured I would share more as I process how amazing and grounded I am feeling about my 3D experience so far. So many things going on while still focusing on my end. I continue to binge your videos multiple a day and felt inspired to share my progress even before we meet. The homework already is great. Last Saturday, I felt inspired to share a picture with my mirror soul of of a mutual colleague of ours, sorry, of a mutual colleague of ours and my colleague's wife. This was the first direct communication we've had since November. And for those of you who are watching this in the future, we are now in April. I sent it basically saying, look who finally came out to have some fun. I left it at that, feeling like it was a normal text as if we were already in our end, just sharing and having fun. I had no ties to a specific outcome, just that it felt good to keep him in the loop. 2 hours later, he texted a reply about the picture and also apologized for the late response and explained why he was late. I was shocked at the apology, really, but I was like, okay, continued to convo like normal with a few light jokes here and there. He's looking for a new car because his truck is dying. Ultimately, I offered my car for the short term until he finds the right new match. That felt normal, and he thanked me and said it was most likely wouldn't be necessary, and then followed up on the real conversation we had about reconnecting that was in October. So they had a conversation of reconnecting that went back to October. They hadn't spoke, so somewhere in November they stopped communicating. Now in April, my soon to be client had already started doing some homework, and now just naturally and nonchalantly reached out because it felt normal too. And obviously he was aligned. Now the his Marisol replied just a couple hours later. It was really good communication. And now the Marisol is bringing up, picking that conversation back up. That was when he said he didn't know if we should open things back up. He could have not brought it up at all if that's how he still felt, but he brought it up. Things are shifting. He explained that things have just been going downhill for him and that he didn't mean for us to not connect. He got very busy and that he didn't want to make me feel neglected or anything. You see that level of reassurance, even though verbally the mirror soul isn't just jumping right in and saying, I do want to be with you. I am in love with you. There is a level of wanting connection and also apologizing for a late response and reassuring that the mirror soul doesn't want my client to feel neglected. I told him I understood and that we all have to do what we have to do to take care of ourselves. And said if we wanted to still connect, that I'm open, that if he wanted to, oh my God, and said if we wanted to still connect, that I am open to it, that I just have a list of places I want to eat at and he can join me. He agreed, and we're now meeting on April 26th. So they'll be having their first face-to-face physical meeting now, just a few weeks after my client was aligned and reached out normally and naturally in alignment. I know I still have work to do, and I'm keeping my eye and mind on the prize, which is the end, which is the state of fulfillment, us married and making a family of our own. But I'm so happy and excited too about my experience, and I'm so happy and excited about it too. Challenges that are coming up and trying to bring me down are my fears, obviously, but also similar family issues that I was consumed with when he first broke up with me. I am turning a lot of my attention on my dad now, who lost his job and warned me that I might have to move back home to keep up with the bills. I am tuning to my freedom and my family being self-sustaining and not needing me like that anymore. And I'll pause for a second. Well, okay, excuse me. My dad is being set up for something much better. I am being set up for something much, much better. Very good. I have my independence now and I'm not giving it up. We are all being set up for something much better. Anyhow, still doing, he actually said, anywho, still doing the homework and following your videos. Thank you so much. And I look forward to our meeting on the 20th. So, um, with all love to your father and your family, yes, exactly what you just said. See that. So hand that over to God, universe, source, the light, creator, infinite intelligence, your infinite being, higher self, that they're taken care of, and trust in that. But you have to love yourself and live your life and choose for yourself. Okay. So obviously you're there for your family and you love them and you support them. But I'm sure that you want to see that your family, your father in particular, since you brought it up, they're taken care of, they're supported. God is handling everything for them. They have everything that they need. Their needs are met. Their life is fulfilled. They're safe and secure. And that they love you, support you, and love you unconditionally, and also want you to be happy in the relationship that you with the person that you belong with. So they support your relationship with your mirror soul, everyone in your life, everyone that you know, your family, their family, all friends, every single person that ever sees the two of you guys together, supports the two of you guys together, loves the two of you guys together. So now release it and surrender it. Don't release or surrender. You don't have to release or surrender your mirror soul, but release the stories around it. You're doing incredibly well. And now allow all the cooperative components to create the bridge of incidence that will fulfill your assumption. Again, your assumption itself fulfills itself through a bridge of incidence. The bridge of incidence, the how and the when, isn't up to you. That's not your job, because in a lot of cases, you wouldn't even be able to fathom what the bridge of incidence would be. So anyway, affirm down below. I know that I create my reality through my assumptions, especially with me and my mirror soul. Our love is harmonious, stable, and secure. I love you so much. I intend that this helped. Have an amazing day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.